Good morning, Facebook. It's Gerry. I'm coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We are a life advancement center that specializes in plant medicine and metaphysical teachings. And we have hey Brandy, we have something pretty interesting and different about Rythmia, is that we focus on something called a remerger, where we put people back with their soul, people who have splintered from their soul. And what that looks like is this, is that sometime between when you were conceived and about 5 years old, you split from yourself. And that split is the source of all addictions, all disease, all disorders, all sadness, is a result of that split. And putting that back together resolves a host of different things. And I want to say a couple things about Rythmia and where we're going, and a little bit about me. I'm a businessman, an ex-businessman that had built his companies and sold companies for a great deal of money in the past, that wound up very, very unhappy, and unhappy to the point that I tried to commit suicide on a number of different occasions. And I had a plant medicine experience that changed my life and changed it forever. And now I own this center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, and we are TripAdvisor's highest customer rated resort of any type in the world, with almost 1,000 reviews, and we're going to hit our 1,000th review this week. We've recently had our 6,000th guest through the doors. So 6,000 people have come here and experienced this program. Now, here's what's interesting. We keep electronic data on everybody who's been here, and we give them surveys and find out a bunch of different information. And what we know to be true is that 95.12% of the people who come through our doors say that they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. More importantly than that, 6 months after they've been here, 97.55% of them say that this miracle is still working in their life, and that this was the week that changed their life. So this coming together and this reuniting of soul and self is what plant medicine has been doing since the beginning of time. It takes people and reunites them. And that in a environment that is fully supportive of it. Now, a lot of people want to go to the jungle to do plant medicine, and that's great. We've done it in a kind of a different way. We have a beautiful, beautiful resort that has all the amenities that a resort could have, and plant medicine, plus medically licensed staff supervising every step of this. Now, recently I said we've had our 6,000th guest through the door. We are booked out through January. If you want to get here, you have to either have someone cancel or start booking in late January or February. That's how good this is. That's how good this is. Today I want to talk about our process. Our process begins with seeing who you become. The medicine wants to do three things to you. It wants you to see who you become, then it wants to merge you back with your soul, then it wants to heal your heart. I'm going to talk today about spiritual bypasses. People talk about them all the time, and sometimes I think they're worded in a way that you have trouble understanding. So this is what a spiritual bypass really is. It's someone who prays for a result without ever acknowledging where they are in that process. They're praying for a result without ever acknowledging where they are within the process. And if you see someone do this, they can do it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or a lifetime. And they will never get to the thing that they want. They will never get to what they're trying to manifest. They'll never get to what they're trying to pray for because they're afraid to acknowledge who they are in the moment. And I want to tell you, we have a private group here this week, and I can't say who this group is. We're not allowed to say, or some of the individuals that are in this group. I can talk about one of them. My friend Panache Desai is here. And this morning he saw me and he said, Gerry, this is such an important thing for you to discuss today. He said, to discuss how it's the ultimate act of trust to acknowledge who you become. It takes so much trust and self-love to understand who you become. So many of us are constantly ahead of ourselves, constantly praying. I see so many people who are in prayer for something. They're praying every day. Let me find the love of my life. Let me get this house. Let me get my rent money. Let me get a new car. Let me get a happy existence. Let me, without ever doing the work and sitting down and giving yourself an appraisal of where you are in your life. Do you see this? Your soul does not want to come back in until you've acknowledged who you are. The steps to the process of this redemption, the steps to the process of true freedom is show me who I become, merge me back with my soul, then heal my heart. Now you can't do that in a spiritual bypass situation. In a spiritual bypass, I'm going to pray for what I want without ever acknowledging where I'm at. You can't do it. It won't work. I know people that come to my resort, come to this center, that are in their late 70s and early 80s who cannot acknowledge who they become. They've been doing it for 70 years. Don't wait 70 years. Don't wait 80 years. Don't wait 40 years or 50 years. Do it now. Sit down and be honest and true about who you become in this moment. Because if you want these things, the moment that you acknowledge who you become, and these other two miracles can occur, the merger of the soul and the healing of the heart, then all of a sudden you can dictate what it is that you want. Because you've acknowledged where you're at. And you have to think of it like this. God or the Great Spirit or Mother Earth or however you look at it is a taxi service. You're constantly calling in saying where you want to go to, but you fail to mention where she needs to pick you up at. You're constantly trying to order where I want to go to here, I want to go to there, but you never tell her where you're at. See, the whole thing is telling yourself, telling God where you are at. What is my problem? What is my perceived problem? Because there aren't any problems. What is the thing that I understand as my problem? And by acknowledging that, you're doing two things. You're putting space around it for change, and you're telling yourself the truth. And when you tell yourself the truth, the path to where you want to go to becomes instantly clear. Instantly clear. So this is the whole thing. We spend our whole life trying to avoid the hurt of telling ourselves the truth. When there isn't a hurt. It's easy. You just haven't done it. And I'm going to ask you to do this, to sit alone today. Instead of reading a self-help book, instead of reading a manifestation book, instead of reading the Bible, instead of reading anything, to get alone with a pen and a paper and say, who is it that I've become? I've become this, I've become that. Not who you are in your wholeness. I know that you're nothing but love, beauty, kindness. I know all that. I'm talking about your earth self. Who have you become this turn on earth? Who have you become? And then I'm going to promise you something. If you can be honest with that and wrap that in love, the nature of what you become will change. But not only that, the path to what you want to be will be illuminated. So this is how simple this is. To say who you've become so that the path to who you want to be becomes illuminated. And I promise you, if you do this, this is not fucking easy. This is not some quick one-hit fix remedy. This is the real truth, because the medicine and you yourself want to know the truth. Everybody wants to know the truth, because we know when we say the truth, then the truth about how we get out of this to something else becomes clear. Geez, it's simple. And it really is simple. It's the hardest simple thing you'll ever do. So when we sit down and we say, okay, this is who I become, and this is who I want to be, the path becomes clear. Clear. It's when we just sit down and just say, I'm frustrated and I want to be this. It's not working. My job sucks and I want it to be this. And da-da-da-da-da-da. Please let me have something different. That does not work. It just doesn't work. And here's the crazy thing about us, is that we keep trying shit that doesn't work until we break our fingers. Like, I keep going through the thing until my fingers break. But I tell you, don't break your fingers. Just look at it a brand new way. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to improve. Not one thing until you have that talk with yourself. Nothing is going to get fucking better. Anybody who tells you, there's a lot of people who want to make money off telling you, oh, you don't have to do this. There's an easy way to make things better. And they're full of shit. They're full of shit. There is no way to make things better until you tell yourself the truth. And when you tell yourself the truth, you're also telling God the truth. And when you tell yourself the truth of who you are and the truth of what you want, things become crystal clear. And you know what I'm talking about? It's unfuck-upable. When you tell the truth about yourself and you tell the truth about what you want, you get a clear path to that. A clear path to that. All the confusion is gone. All of the fucking mixed signals are gone. All of the even the lack of confidence is gone. Once you tell the truth, hey, I'm in Texas and I want to go to Virginia. Boom. Then the route appears. It's just like Waze. You got to tell it where you are and tell it where you want to go. If you just tell it where you want to go, the question of where the fuck are you keeps coming up. And it keeps coming up in different ways. And you keep trying to sidestep it because you think if you tell the truth about who you are, you're going to blow up. And I want to tell you what, nobody has ever fucking died from that. But about 7 billion people have died from not stating it. You're going to die. It's about time that you get in and tell the truth about you so that you can get clear about where you want to go. And everybody is going somewhere. Don't think this. Even the monk is going somewhere. Going somewhere in his meditation. Going somewhere in his... Everybody's going somewhere. And here's the real truth. 99 and change percent never get there. Ever get there. Most of you die without ever playing the song you came here to sing. Most of you die. And that is the fucking truth. So what I'm telling you is this, before you run out of time, do the one thing that you're trying to not do. Take the time and sit down and get out your list. This is who I become. And once you do that, I can promise you with everything in me that not only will that not be true anymore, the moment that you write it down, it's no longer true. The moment you acknowledge it to yourself, it can change. And generally does. But not only that, but the path to what you want to become shows up. It's crystal clear. It's been there the whole time. The key that you haven't used is the last one on the key ring. It's the truth. And this is the truth of the truth. It's the last one on the key ring, and you've never used it. So now we've tried everything else. Look, it costs. You don't have to come to Rythmia. You don't have to buy a course. You don't have to do any shit. You don't have to do a thing. You've tried everything. You've taken a chance on everything. Fucking take a chance on the truth. Take 20 minutes out of your day, and instead of watching an episode of whatever the fuck the latest show is, instead of watching that, instead of mindlessly watching memes, although memes are great, instead of mindlessly watching memes, why don't you do this? Why don't you get alone and make yourself a promise? I'm going to walk into this room, my dining room, and I'm not going to leave this fucking thing until I told myself the truth. Boom. And sit down and write out the truth. And then on the bottom half of that page, when you're done telling yourself the truth, then tell yourself where you want to be. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? And listen to this. You know, I got my idea of who I wanted to be for the second or third time in my life when I was 52. 52. Yeah, I checked that. 51 ahead. And it was all too late to be over, right? 52. What kind of chance does this guy have to da-da-da-da-da? You know it? 52. And now I'm being it. I own it. You know, we own the #1 plant-based spiritual center in the world. In the world. And I'm making a living, doing what I love to do. And I don't even want to make a living. I already did that. I made a really, really, really strong showing of a living. I'm doing what I love to do. And I want to say something. I'm not a thought leader. I wasn't special picked or chosen. I'm anti-special, anti-picked, and anti-chosen. I'm the last guy in the world that you think something like this would happen to. And yet it happened to me, and I can show you exactly how to do it. And it begins with you stopping all this other fucking shit. It's not fucking working. Look at your life. Tell me if you're honestly content. Tell me if you found content. If you found content, turn this off, go to another channel. If you haven't found content, then please take a moment and take all of your fucking self-help shit and throw it the fuck out. And just go in a room and tell yourself that you're not going to fucking let yourself leave until you tell the truth. I will not let myself leave until I tell the truth. And then, as soon as you get that truth out on the other paper, say, and this is what I want my life to look like. And take 10 minutes and put it in there. And I got to tell you what, with those 2 pieces of paper, the center opens up. It does. How do I know? I got 6,000 people that will tell you the exact same thing. And 95.12%, 951 out of every 1,000 people who come through here get it, and get it this way. So that's the goal today. The goal today is, instead of watching memes, instead of watching whatever TV show, I don't watch TV anymore. That's not true. I did. I watched something on Netflix. I forget what it was. But instead of watching that, sit in a room and do this work. Sit in a room and do this work. Sit down and promise yourself that you're going to tell yourself the truth. And then watch how magically what you want to be, what you want, watch how magically that opens up for you. I'm telling you the truth. This is Gerry coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. I want to tell you, I want you to come here. By all means, here's our number, 1-866-936-9446. And I want you to come. Hey, Mike who? I want you to come, and I want you to experience this firsthand. And if you can't get here, you have a dining room. Go in your dining room, sit down, and tell yourself the truth. Until next week, God love you, God keep you, God hold you, and we will see you soon at Rythmia. God bless you.